Hi loves, how are you? So we are officially deep into the third trimester, and yeah, hyperpigmentation has hit me a big one this time. But I've also been outside a lot, and I am not on any sunscreen, which is not nice, but yeah, I try as much as I can to protect myself. As you can see, I have a hat here to wear when I'm leaving, but the effect of the heat or the damage, the sun damage on the skin are very evident. And I also did not sleep so well last night. My sleep just got finished early. I woke up really early, which is not so good, but I slept early also, so it's okay. It's just that I like resting more. When I'm rested, my skin shows. Anyway, today we're going to talk about hydration. Water, taking water, and why it's non-negotiable while you are pregnant. If you know me, you know I usually have no issues with drinking water. Before pregnancy, I was doing like maybe 3-4 liters a day. Currently, I am doing 5+ liters, especially when I leave the house. I have a water bottle. I just chose a glass today because why not? But I refill that water bottle severally once I leave the house. I buy water, I refill if I find refilling stations, and you might think that I'm taking a lot, but realistically I am not, because I make sure that I meet the iron needs as well. So my water will have chia, my water might have lemon, it might have salt, it might have some glucose here and there, some oranges, to make sure that I am also supplying the ions as well as the water. Sometimes I take hibiscus because again I'm not trying to kill myself with high blood pressure, but it's regulated. I do not do it like a mad person. And again, my pressure, I'm trying to also maintain it because sometimes it can be low. And that is one of the dangers of dehydration in pregnancy. So you can imagine with all the water intake, I am still worried about my pressure being low, but it's also very hot in Nairobi currently. So those are some of the reasons that outside nutrition, outside metabolism, that you might need extra intake of fluids while you're pregnant. When you think about from a nutritionist point of view why you need extra fluids, of course your body needs an increase in blood volume. You need to make sure that you are supplying enough fluids to your body to produce the extra 50+% increment of blood volume that is needed during pregnancy. If you're not taking fluids, if you're not taking water, where will that increment come from? Your baby needs the amniotic fluid to make sure that things are running smoothly, they are moving well. You also need water to help in the transport of nutrients that you're taking from your digestive system to the baby, and also for elimination of the toxins or the wastes that comes from the baby, the exchange, and vice versa. You also need to ensure that you are supporting digestion. A good number of pregnant women, thank God I have not experienced any of that, actually struggle with constipation. And one of the leading causes is because there's reduced intake of fluids. Of course, I understand the fact that you might be having a lot of bad taste or metallic taste on your mouth, and this can actually hinder intake of adequate fluids while you're pregnant. You might also be experiencing nausea, vomiting, or even diarrheal or gut issues that actually lead to water losses, and this can also predispose you to dehydration. But here are some of the things that you can do to make it easier for you to take up enough fluids. One, you can always have a timetable. Like if you're not used to it, before your body readjusts, what do I mean? You wake up in the morning, you take a glass of water, you squeeze in lemon. It actually helps with making the water a bit palatable. Or you can also add in ginger if you don't mind the taste. I kind of mind the taste currently, so I will not do ginger, but I'm doing a lot of lemons, a lot of oranges. I do wheatgrass. Like my water is flavored. And I also do clear water, and I also take a banana in the morning to make sure that I kickstart my intakes with potassium, magnesium, and the energy as well as the sugar. So yes, I am hydrating well. And then of course another thing that you can do is also try as much as you can to have a water bottle, especially if you are moving. It's actually recommended that you do physical movements when you are pregnant, and we're going to talk about that in our next video, so make sure that you stick around to talk about what's safe, what's not, what's acceptable. So I want to talk about the dangers of dehydration for the mother during pregnancy. So as I have said, you will experience headaches and dizziness. You also experience constipation and hemorrhoids, fatigue and low energy. By the way, if you're struggling with fatigue or you're tired, you have no energy, you have zero energy to walk, just make sure that you're hydrated. You know, being properly hydrated actually supports your energy supply processes. This is because water is used either as a solvent or as a solute to make sure that your body releases energy that is in the form of ATP. And I know pregnancy is very energy intense, so you need to make sure that you're supporting your metabolism as much as you can to get this energy. And of course, if you're dehydrated, you can predispose yourself to false labor, premature birth, So we need to make sure that you're taking care of our hydration at all times. So how much water should you drink? Most guidelines actually recommend 2 to 3 liters per day, or an additional 1 to 2 liters per day if you have been consuming enough water. But majority of us, even pre-pregnancy, have been shown to not be taking enough water. Like dehydration is real. When you're walking outside there, you'll meet people who are dry, their skins are dry, their lips are dry, their urine is so pale, they're orange, literally they're struggling with constipation because they're not taking up enough water. So of course that can actually have an impact on the amount of water that you will need when you're pregnant. But again, let's remember that this is dependent on your body size, how big or how small you are. Of course, the bigger you are, the more you need. And activity level, how active are you? The more active you are, the more water you need. As I've told you, I'm quite active. I am moving, I am walking. Like, I'm not just the common pregnant mom who just sits. No. But thank God that my pregnancies are a bit easy, so I am able to do the normal things. I just get a bit lazy, but I am very active. So of course, I will not compare my hydration rates or how much I'm taking with someone who's always in the house just seated, because when I go outside there, this is natural lighting. By there is nothing I have done or added. You can imagine how sunny it is outside, and I have shades. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah? And of course the weather, and if you're struggling with any water losses like vomiting or diarrhea, of course all this will determine how much water you need. So these are some of the practical tips that we need to make sure that we do as women when we are pregnant. We sip water throughout the day instead of large amounts at once. That is the essence of having a water bottle. So when you're working, when you're doing your errands, or even when you're just going about your day, you sip water as you go. And then you can add lemon, as I said, you can add oranges, you can add ginger if you can stand the taste. You can also do cucumber for taste, and you can also use reminders or a water bottle. I saw somewhere on Facebook that, of course, there was a mom who posted that she was struggling with water intake, and one of the recommendations was to put the artificial juices and then over dilute it. Do not do that, because we don't want to have the necessary additives in our bodies, and we are pregnant. We're trying as much as you can to maintain it as safe, as organic as it can be. So do fruit, you can do lemon, you can do chia seeds, you can do hibiscus, just small petals, and then you get the flavor. It actually makes it much manageable. And then you can also try as much as you can to balance fluids with the electrolytes when advised by a dietitian. Of course, this is very necessary because by now we have understood that hydration is just not about taking water. We need to make sure that we're also matching the fluid intake to the body needs, that we are not over or under hydrated. That is very important, because again, you can be over hydrated, which might also lead to electrolyte losses. It might also lead to another unnecessary issues like affecting blood pressure here and there. So you have to make sure that you're maintaining your hydration levels at par as per your needs. And that is where my coaching program comes in, by the way. I have a coaching program for women who are pregnant, who are breastfeeding, or even trying to lose weight. By the way, I have intakes every 15th of the month, and it goes for 3,000. So in this program, it will be like a thorough one-on-one session. We talk about your nutrient needs, we talk about your lifestyle needs, where you are at life and the support that you need. And then we go on reviewing it for the month as well. So how do you sign up? You sign up by clicking the link in the description box and you fill that form. And then you pay the 3,000. You share with me your payment details on my WhatsApp, and we kickstart you as well. If you are a pregnant mama, congratulations. If you are breastfeeding and you need support, come to my inbox. I'll leave my number. We talk about how we're going to support you, and let's just build a community of women who are supporting, who are for each other. Let's try as much as we can to be there and be good to each other. Thank you for watching. My name is Lilian, Mumina, registered clinical nutritionist. And until next time, make sure that you check out this playlist next on pregnancy and nutrition, or I put for breastfeeding. Let's just maintain pregnancy, and I'll see you there. Bye.